One and all present here. I'm Shivangi Yadav, Program Officer at BMA, and I welcome you all for today's FET on the topic 360-degree view of your business. And today's speaker is Mr. Sushant Panda. Now I request CA Param Doshi for introducing the speaker. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shivangi. Today's topic is one of the most important topics for us as management professionals or as any other business person. Because having a 360-degree view of your business is one of the most important things in today's times. Gone are the days when we could focus on one function, for example, manufacturing or sales or finance, and think that and focus only on that without seeing everything else. Today, in the times of information systems and advanced information technology, every business person and every person in the business must have a complete information about his business and about the real-time position of their company. For this purpose, today we have one of the most apt speakers on this topic, who is himself a B.Tech from IIT and an MBA from the Asian Institute of Management. He's currently the Managing Director of Syum Technology Private Limited, Mumbai, and has an industry experience of more than 30 years. Without taking further time, let me introduce to you Mr. Sushant Panda, who is the speaker for the day, and I hand over the session to him for a wonderful and informative session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me and you can also see my slides before I proceed. Can you please confirm that?
Yes, sir, we can hear you and your screen is also visible.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. This is my privilege to be here as well, to connect with all the business owners and share my experience and my thought process in this line, right? And let me just, before I get into this subject, let me tell you why I thought about this. I've been doing analytics for bigger companies. And when I came down to small to medium-sized companies, I realized that all of these, most of the SME companies have problem in terms of getting a complete grasp on their business, right? And they know, oh, I have some inventory problem. Oh, I don't know what's happening in my product sales. I have this problem. So although they have Tally or some kind of ERP system, still a complete grasp on their business is still lacking. That's when I said, why not have a solution where you can see something real time, right, of your business. So with that background, we started developing solutions for them and said, okay, why not share this with them, whether they want whatever stage they are in, whether they are still at the bottom stage or they've come some far way implementing this, or they're not started, whatever it is, at least share with everybody so they're aware that such things is such and such things possible, right? So thank you again for giving me this platform to share my experience and my views. So business 360 degree is what, let me tell you, car. When you're driving your car, there's a dashboard for you. So where it gives an indication of what's the temperature of the car, what speed you're driving, how much fuel is left, so how many more kilometers you can drive, and the RPM, and so on, right? So is it definitely a helpful dashboard to drive and maneuver your car when you're driving it, right? If without the dashboard, sometimes you'll not be able to know, right? Or you'll not be able to drive properly the car. Well, although there's a dashboard, if you see that engine temperature is gone to the red zone, you still do not know why it's gone to the red zone. You will know that it's gone to the red zone, but you do not have a facility in this dashboard to know this is happening because of your functioning of the engine, or there's no coolant, or there's no engine oil. You don't know the reason, right? But at least it gives you an indication this is where you are, a real-time basis and automated. So what you get is, from the business perspective, you might like to see revenue year on year, month on month. What are my opportunities, pipeline, daily basis sales going up and down, is seasonality in my sales, all kinds of trends and growth and revenue for your sales, right? Also, you would like to simultaneously know what's my inventory status, what's my holding cost of the inventory, am I overstocking or am I understocking? No. What's my accounts receivable aging? How much money is stuck in the receivable? Customers, which customers are creating a problem? My financial health of the company in terms of different ratios, which you can look at and see, okay, there I'm going wrong in the financials, right? My cash flow projections for next 60 days. Can I do some what if analysis there? If I don't get this particular payment from this customer, how am I going to bust my working capital limit? If I can delay vendor payment, how it's going to be my working capital limits? My budget versus actually, if I have any budget for the expenses, budget and all this thing, what's my actual cost? Where am I overshooting anywhere? And so on and so on. I just, because the limitation of space, I've only put 6 blocks, but you would like to know more about it, right? But finally, you would like to see the total impact on your business. So if you have a dashboard like this, like you saw a car dashboard giving indication on a real-time basis of all these parameters of your business on daily basis updated with the real-time data, then I'm sure it will help you to take better decisions. Like you drive your car safely, you could drive your business safely as well. So what does this dashboard do? It gives you a 360-degree view of your business. It's a real time. A real time means it depends whether you want to daily update the data or you want to update the data on an hourly basis or on a weekly basis. The real time definition changes on the business type, right? It's proactive. Unlike the car dashboard, it's proactive. That means you can set parameters, threshold limits. If the values are going beyond that limit or below that limit, then it can send you a mail trigger. Look, something is going wrong. And when you click on that, the dashboard opens up and you can drill down to find out where actually things are going wrong, right? It's a proactive system. Drill down. Car engine, I give an example. If the engine is hot, you don't know why it's hot, right? But here you can drill down to find out where actually it is the problem. Okay, where is the problem? And in the product problem, cash flow problem, what problem, right? A typical CEO dashboard will look something like this. It's not that this is how it will always look. It can be always made customized to your business needs. But typically, a CEO or a business owner would like to see few things. Like in the top left-hand side, you would like to see my revenue growth, sales growth. Last year, if I had any target, how I achieved it on YTD basis. And this year, how my target is and how I'm achieving the target on a YTD basis and a monthly basis, right? And obviously, this is just a trend, overall view. On a daily, you can even have a chart, a daily basis trend, right? But this is showing on a monthly basis. You can also have it on a weekly basis. And then the next thing we'd like to see below that is YTD. What is my sales order so far? The 3 bars you can see. What's my sales order booking? How much I have billed and how much I have collected till YTD, right? Well, this is an YTD figure, but if you want to see further monthly basis or any quarterly basis, you can drill down from here. I'll show you a live demo of this, but this dashboard gives you the overall picture, and from here you can drill down to different granularity to know where the exact problem is. Below that, you have opportunities which are in the pipeline for you. Which month, which customer, how much value is likely to close for me? So at least you have a revenue tracker, for next few months. And then if you come to the second column, you will have a revenue mix. That means which products or services of mine was contributing to what percentage of revenue the last year, and has it changed this year? If changed, which one is dominating right now, or which one is lagging behind right now? That will give an indication if something is changing in the market. And below that is have your accounts receivable aging analysis. Which are the customers over 90 days, which are between 60 to 90 days in different buckets. You can see the accounts receivable. And when you click on one particular bucket, you can see the details of the customers and the invoices against which the payment is pending from the customers. Below that is the inventory status, inventory aging. Which are the inventory, that's finished goods or the raw material, the work in progress, which are more than 90 days. And click on that, you could see the different warehouses or different locations, which inventory item is lying where and what is the inventory cost, holding cost, right? And if the last column is the expensive versus budget. So you possibly could have chucked out a budget in the beginning of the financial year for admin expenses, marketing expenses, or financial expenses, or so on and so on, and you want to track on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, have I overshot any budget, right? So you can give you an indication here, as I told you earlier, you can have proactive measure by defining if anytime the budget has the actual expenses gone beyond the budget, a mail trigger should go so that the concerned person can get a mail and then he can log in and see where actually you're exceeding the budget. The cash flow projections for the next 60 days. If you see, we'll show you a live demo how you can do what if analysis on these cash flow projections. And of course, the last one is your profitability, revenue, and expenses month and month. How is my profitability going on? These are a few things obviously you would like to track. If you want to track more than this, obviously we have many customers who say, no, we want something else. So we add that as well. Somebody says, no, I don't want this, but I want that. So we can chop something and put something else there so that you have your own dashboard, which you can see everyday basis, and you can drive your business safely with sound decisions, right? So we'll show a live demo of this later on. But how are all these possible? So all these things possible because of something called business analytics or business intelligence tool. So what is it? Like, so you may be just using Tally or maybe using ERP, but you've not gone into business analytics, or maybe hearing a lot of buzzwords. Let me put in simple language. What is that? Why is that you need to do business analytics? Obviously, each business wants to have better results. And for better results, you have to take smarter decisions. So how do you take the decision? There are two types of decisions: strategic and operational decisions. Operational daily basis, what you need to do, and strategic is long-term view. To take all these two decisions, you need to have actionable insights. How do you get the actionable insights? Through analysis. The analysis could be on your data, for last 3 years data, which you have captured of your business, and possibly some external data as well. If you can have access to those external data, you can analyze that as well. And internal data, both combined, you can get some actionable insights on a real-time basis. Not that you just do one time and then again you do after a few months, you do one. It's a real-time basis, daily basis, automated way. You can get these insights coming in from the dashboards or the mail triggers, so that which will help you take better decisions. So that's why you need to get into analytics or BI tools, which will help you take better or smarter decisions. So what is business analytics? It's basically a data-driven approach to take business decisions, and it can cut across all the business functions, whether it is analyzing your customer, analyzing your product, analyzing supply chain, analyzing your marketing, sales, HR, procurement. It cuts across all the business functions, and you can holistically see your business performance. And why do you do it? Obviously, to take better decisions and to solve business problems. You just don't do for the sake of doing it because others are doing it. Because obviously, it's only helpful to your business, you would be doing it. So we only choose the dashboards which will help you to take better decisions to solve this specific business issues or problems. So if once you decide to do this, then where do you start and how do you do it, right? So because possibly a lot of people don't know what's analytics and how do you start it. So first, you need to have an objective for the business analytics which you're doing. Why are you doing it? For what business problem you're trying to solve, right? What is that you need for? So you need to have that objective first. Then only you can start. That objective can lead to many questions, business questions, and then it can lead to the analytics. So which are the critical business priority which you need to monitor? What are the things, parameters which are very important to your business which you need to monitor? And how do you want to monitor? Have that objective. So once you have an objective, there are the steps to follow to do the analytics. The first is having established objective, you find the business questions or the business insights which you want to have on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And also list down the hypothesis which you have possibly finalized for your business. I'll give an example of hypothesis. You said, oh, if I do this, this happens. You find a correlation between two activities and you say, oh, this causes that. But that's a hypothesis which you have built through your judgmental, through your observations. But is it true? So most of the time we find that all the hypotheses statistically are not true. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not true. Okay, but maybe 3 out of 8 times it's true and 5 out of 8 times it's false. But then over a long period, statistically, will you rely on that judgment or hypothesis? So that's where the hypothesis lists down, which can be validated through statistical methods, whether they're correct for your business or not. And then having done the business question and the hypothesis, list of hypothesis, then you go to the data. So where is my data? As in Tally, as in ERP, and then is it an analyzable form? So most of the problems for SME comes here, where they have data, but either they have captured the data, not captured the relevant data, or the captured data is on an aggregation basis, not on a granular basis, or some dirty data. I'll give you some examples of dirty data later on. So that data has to be managed and made to analyzable format. And only after that, you can go to step 4, which is analysis. Whether it's a dashboard or advanced analytics using statistical algorithm, all can happen only after you do the data management. Make the data, convert the data to analyzable format. After the analysis, you can get insights on the basis of which you can recommend the storytelling, the basis, the dashboards and the storytelling things are there, part of BI, and then actually change the process you're doing or change whatever you're deciding, right? So that's change management. So basically, these are 8 steps you go through when you're trying to do analytics, right? But the primary importance is what is that insight which you're trying to get, right? Rest all, we can do it. Even we help also sometimes establishing this could be important for you and that could be important for you. Maybe you can view your data like this, okay, which you've not seen. Okay, this could give you better insights. So to do all these things, what skills required? So you require skills in terms of business acumen, because you've been driving your business for such a long time. So you have the business acumen to know what's going wrong, what's going right, and what's required, important for your business. That's where you list down the question. Then come the data management. It's a skill. The data management is a skill by itself. There are engineers who specialize in data management, and there are tools, software tools to do the data management in an automated way, right? And so that's where you need the skills there. You're not necessary that you have to build the skills. You can always outsource it. And then comes the analytic skills. There are analytic techniques. There are statistical techniques. There are visual analytic techniques like dashboards. There's a subject called visual analytics. How do you see your data visually so that you can comprehend faster, right? And then the visualization, that's when the visualization comes into picture. And then the storytelling. So these are skills which you need, but not necessary that to do analytics, you have to build all these skills by yourself, except for the business acumen which you have, which we can also supplement there. Rest all things you can always say, okay, hey guys, you know a subject, you do it. But these are things which we need it. And you do it and support it for 3 years. And you forget about developing all the skills and holding all the skills after you hire them. They're leaving your company again, the problem of rehiring and retraining and all those stuff. Not required. Well, to do all these things, the first step is the business question. That's where you need to start thinking analytical, right? So when you start thinking analytical, I will give an example of analytical thinking. Like say you want to find out there's a correlation between sales and ad spend, okay? And your marketing guy comes and he says, look, this is my graph. The more money you spend on advertisement, the quantity sold are higher, right? Here, the graph, which is an indication, right? Then somebody comes, no, it doesn't, a linear graph, it tapers off. Actually, if you put a polynomial, you say, no, it tapers off after some time. After some time, the money, more money you spend, it doesn't actually generate additional revenue. So by suddenly changing the graph type, suddenly you find different insights. So you need to know how to do this, right? At what point, what graph to use. Well, this is only one story. But then your customer service department comes and tells you, well, because of my customers are satisfied with what I do, my sales have gone up. You can see the graph. Well, it tapers off after some time, like that's money, but it goes up. Then your there's a high correlation. Then your product guy comes and look, my pricing strategy is good. If you see, I will lower the price, higher the quantity sold. The moment the prices increase beyond a certain point, the quantity sold are dropping. Okay, so I have priced my product so appropriately that my sales have gone up. And who's right? What is driving your sales? Is it advertisement? Is it product pricing? Or is it the customer satisfaction level? You're in a dilemma, right? Each one saying that mine is working. So there are statistical methods to validate these hypotheses. These are the hypotheses you could have possibly built or the departments could have built. But how do you prove this is right or wrong? You might be going by these graphs and taking decisions, but you're not analyzed thoroughly. So that's when you have something called, okay, before I tell you how to do it, so let's take a look at this, a bright example of not related to business, but Maine is a small town in US, I think northeast of US. The divorce rate there over the last one decade, from 2000 to 2009, in the 10 years, which is the red line, and the per capita consumption of margarine, right, veg butter. So if you see, there's a highly correlated. When the consumption of margarine goes down, the divorce rate goes down. So does it mean the consumption of margarine causes divorce? This is a hypothesis somebody has built. But is it really that one is causing the other? Not necessarily. So this is the fallacy of sometimes is highly correlated. So that means when observation, association between two variables is not enough, that one is causing the other. Correlation and causation are two different things in analytics. Okay, so that's when you start building hypotheses which are not right. Now coming back to the case study which I told you, the more quantity sold by spending more money or by right pricing or by customer satisfaction index. When you do a linear regression analysis, which you can do even using Excel or using R or Python program, where you try to find out what is the impact of all these three variables on the sales. That means you're taking all the three variables together, which is ad spend, pricing, and the customer satisfaction index, and trying to find out what's the impact on my sales. And in fact, I don't want to get into how to do it, but you can come out of the equation like this. Quantity sold is a constant plus some coefficient into ad money spent minus 343 into price. I've taken only two variables now here, ad money and price. I've not taken the third variable, which is customer satisfaction index. But you can come out with some equation like this statistically, which says that 1 rupee increase in price, your quantity sold can come down by 343. Whereas 1 rupee spend on ad only increases by 5.7 or 6 quantities, which has got a higher significance, higher impact on the quantity sold. Of course, the price. If the pricing goes haywire, your quantity sold could be really gone. Ad doesn't have that much of impact on the quantity sold, as much impact as the pricing, right? If you add the third variable, sorry, customer satisfaction index, then possibly you could see what's the weightage of that impact on the quantity sold. So there are statistical methods to find that out. So coming to the next thing is, which is the case study, another case study, sales transaction. You have all these sales transactions, customer name, date of transactions, product purchase, amount of purchase, last 2 years data. And somebody comes and tells you, can you do some analytics and tell me what I can get inside? As I told you, if you don't have an objective for the analytics, you'll be getting lost. What should be the objective? And also find out what are the questions for which you're looking answer for. So in this case, let's take an objective. Objective is that I want to analyze my product performance. I have many products. I don't know how they're performing. But okay, that's a very general objective. But what questions? Be specific. What exactly you want in that? That's when the questions come. Then I can have questions like, say, what is the total revenue YTD? What the percentage revenue growth on year or month on month? Which products, which are the, is it high sales, high growth product, or high sales, low growth, low sales, high growth, low sales, low growth, which quadrant it is? So you can have questions like this. Only when you have under that objective, this question, focusing on the product analysis, then only can lead to the next level analysis, next level of analysis, right? Since I have had these questions, then I will see how to analyze this. So here is an example how I'm going to analyze those questions. So I made an x-axis is the growth, sales growth, and y-axis is the net sales. The top right corner is the high sales, high growth. Bottom left corner is, or the box is low sales, low growth. and I can have the reference line, which is y-axis, x-axis, flexible to drag drop. Then I can know which are the products which are high growth, high sales. I can apply this to the customer as well, right? High sales, high growth, or high sales, high profit, whatever. So I can segment the custom product in that basis. It's called quadrant analytics. Then I can plan how to move the high sales, low growth to high growth, or low growth, high sales to this one, low growth, high sales, sorry, high growth, low sales to the top right quadrant. Similarly, actually, this is the concept of Boston growth matrix. So that I've applied on this quadrant analytics for growth and sales for your own products instead of looking at the market share, right? Similarly, objective analytics, suppose I want to do product market segment performance. How is my product doing for different markets? So I can have, okay, how is the existing product doing for existing market? How is my existing product doing the new market? How is my new market existing? So the block will look like this. Product on the x-axis, market on the y-axis. New present product in the present market, present product in the new market, how they are doing it, right? This is again an IIMs and all teach this called answer growth matrix. So you can also analyze that and see where you're going wrong or where you're going right, right? So another objective, this customer segmentation. I have all the sales. Can I have a customer segmentation? On what basis you want to do customer segmentation? Normally people do it in the industry-wise, chemical industry this much, pharma industry this much. But you could also have who are my best customers, who are my loyal customers, who are my big spenders, lost customers. This is only applicable when you have many customers. You have only 5-6 customers, you would know that by hand. But you have 100 customers, you would know that. You would not know that, right? Same thing in the product as well. If you have too many products, you wouldn't know that. But if you have only 4-5 products, then you will have that in the fingertips. Then you don't need that, right? Analytics. So then here I can segment the customers on the basis of recency, frequency, and monetary value called RFM. So RFM means if the recency divide the recency means how when did a customer come to you last? If he's come to you yesterday, that means he falls in the first quadrant. If he comes back, he has come to you 1 year back, maybe in the fourth quadrant, right? Then the first quadrant customers are good. Similarly, frequency means how frequently he's coming. More frequently coming means it falls in quadrant 1, but very less frequency may fall in quadrant 4 or 3. So 111 is always good. So best customers are RFM 11, highly recent, highly frequent, and high monetary business. 444, the maybe unwanted customers. Maybe you would like to look at them whether you want to really continue with the business, because neither do they come frequently, nor recently they have come a high monetary value, right? So on the basis of this, you can do customer segmentation, which does automatically. The customer on a sales transaction, this segmentation can be done automatically, right? So what are the data challenges which people face? Typically, relevant data not captured. I found people entering the data in Tally or ERP, they have a sales invoice. Instead of capturing product-wise sales quantity and the rate and all, they put a total value of sales, bill numbers, so much of sales, product ABCD. That's an aggregate data capture. Then you cannot analyze product-wise details. You cannot analyze seasonality for each product. You cannot analyze product profitability if you do aggregated data capture. Even few data points are not captured. Sometimes the incomplete data, right? Because you never thought about analytics, so you thought, oh, this is not relevant data to be captured. So you never capture the data. And the data is in silo. Sometimes something in, say, inventory data is in an Excel sheet, or maybe it's not there in a paper, and the Tally data is only about the finance. What are the pipeline data? Some of the Excel, somebody maintaining it. So all in silos. So they're not interconnected to do a holistic analytics. Okay. And then dirty data, like say I've seen many times when you say sell something, product 1, then how much quantity sold and what's the unit of measure? Suppose 5 kgs. They write 5 kg, 5 and next to that kgs. Then 10 ton, or then 6 quantity. But actually there should be 2 separate columns, because unit of measure is different, quantity is different. So unless it's captured like this, you'll not be able to do the analytics. So that anyway will help doing that cleaning and all those stuff. The spelling mistakes, null value. So typically these data problems come, but once you start doing analytics, we look at this data and then we try to see the best way to clean this data or integrate the data, and we consult you. And then no planning, chart of account, especially you find that the chart of account is not designed properly to capture all the expenses and the variance analysis. So you struggle still downloading it or capturing some data in Excel and do all those things. But the chart of account is planned properly, then it could come out all the things which you need for your dashboard can come out real-time basis automatically. And obviously the data is in Tally on ERP, so your data is not agile because the data has to be in the analyzable format, and which you do that before analytics. The data is not agile for analytics when things are getting from Tally or ERP. So they need to be restructured, interconnected, and all those things, cleaned. Data problems. So that's where the data to information journey comes, and we help you in that, converting the raw data to clean, transform, integrated data, organize business subject-wise, historical data, last 2-3 years data is appended so that you can analyze for 3 years or 4 years, and agile structure, so quick analytics, right? And that's when we use the data management skills called ETL process. But visual analytics, why do you need visual analytics, right? So why you need the dashboards? Let's say suppose if you give this, I'll just give you a simple example. By dashboards, as I told you already, dashboards are interactive, proactive, drill down, real time, and all those stuff. Another example is how your mind works with the visuals. Like typical this one, Excel sheet which you do, you have a sales and profit column wise, and row wise you have the regional wise you have the column wise, and the row wise you have products and the sub-products, a product category and subcategory, right? Somebody asks you questions, which product region is the best seller? That means highest sales. Which product? Is it espresso, yeast, espresso, whether it is decaf espresso, regular espresso? Which product, sub-product, and the region is the best seller? Possibly difficult to find out easily. Whereas, if I ask you this, now you know that I tell you that the bar graph, the tallest bar is the sales, high sales. Red means unprofitable, green means profitable, right? Darker green means more profitable. Darker red means lesser, more losses. And the taller bar is the highest sales. So if I ask you now here, which is the highest sales, which region, which particular product, obviously you can immediately see the tallest bar immediately and point out which is whether coffee, Colombian, or whatever, East, right? So what happens in your mind is here in this, when you look at this, your mind starts reading sequentially, one number after the other, and compares the other number, previous number, whether it is more or less, and then stores that, goes to the next one. And if you've forgotten the previous number or the largest number, again, you start from the scratch. So that's where the mind sequential reading of the numbers, I mean, doesn't really help you in terms of quickly finding the what you want, and also prone to mistake. Whereas when you see them visually, your mind has a visual perception system inside your brain, and that processes the pictures parallelly. So all the images, the bar graphs, process parallelly, you can find out, okay, there's no sequential anymore. Parallel processing, and you know the tallest bar. Fraction of a second, you know the tallest bar and know the outcome. And that's how your visual perception system works. And that's why you should see your performance visually, business performance visually, rather than just an Excel spreadsheet. And you can comprehend them much faster. That's when the concept of visual analytics came and the dashboards came into picture, right? The graphs. I told you about how the brain works, okay? This is all about the business analytics, why business analytics, to how to see your business 360-degree view. That's where you need to get into this BI thing and clean your data. That's why I explained all the steps involved to achieve that result, right? So there are methodical steps involved to achieve the result. So now I will switch over to a live demo and then go for question answer. I can take a few questions here before I go for live demo. Any questions, please? I'll pause for a minute.
Yeah, you can go, sir, for the live demo. Meanwhile, we are collecting the question via WhatsApp from YouTube and other part. So we are just preparing a list of the question. Thank you.
Okay. Sure. So this is a live demo of CEO dashboard. We have sales analytics dashboards, you have finance analytics dashboards, you have HR analytics dashboards, supply chain analytics dashboard. Those are very extensive, but this is meant for the CEO. So I had explained this. Say I see this dashboard, YTD figures, but I want to know what's happening on a monthly basis, happening to each branch, each sales executive, each location. So then I click on this, right? So when I click on this, I go to the dashboard, detailed dashboard. If you see here, I have a date here. So I can say, okay, from this date to this date, say I want to 20th of June, right? I want to see monthly, MTD is monthly, my MTD, or I want to see YTD or QTD. Right now it's MTD. And I want to see amount or quantity. Let me be amount. I can also see the quantity. And you can see the monthly basis till June. This green bar is my actual figure and the line bar is the target. I'm achieving more than the target every month. Even in June, in 20 days, MTD, I have already crossed my target. So I'm already doing well, right? And I can see here on the left-hand side, who are my top 5 or top 6 or top 4 ACs, that is sales engineers, or my ASMs, or my products, whatever I can choose, right? ASM, the managers, and who are the top and what product, what target they have achieved. You can see the top 4, the max, top one is 260% of the target. Bottom 4, the lowest one is 47% of your target. So he is SM5. You can see the name, right? Who are your top 5, top 4 performers or top 10 performers? You can see that here. And similarly, you can go down and see which branch manager is actually met the target. You can see that branch 3, 4, 2 are still struggling, right? And orange is basically between 75 to 100%, and red means less than 75%, and more than 100% is green. And the vertical line is the target, and the horizontal line is the actual figure. So you can see that branch 3 and 2 are struggling, and they have only 73% or 62% of the target. And then which products categories are doing well, product 2 categories not doing well, and which locations are state-wise, then you can drill down to city-wise, but I don't want to do because it'll be too cluttered, right? City-wise, you can drill down here. Even product to product, subcategory-wise, product category and then product-wise, it'll be too much. You can have a different dashboard for this only. But here, I want to know category to products not doing well. Is it not doing well in all the states and all the branch managers? So I can click only on category 2. On real-time basis, it will change. If you see category 2, all the branches are struggling except Chhattisgarh, which is done well in category 2. Rest all are struggling, right? You can see that. So I can also know, okay, category 2 or category 1, which is doing well, right? And you see everybody is doing well. Also, everything is done, but who's not performing bottom or still SM5 is 24% in category 2. Okay. So why is he struggling still, right? And I can see, okay, branch manager 1, how is he doing in multiple states? You can see branch manager 1 is not doing well in Himachal Pradesh. So I can slice dice in any permutation combinations and changes real-time basis to show you where actually things are going wrong in terms of target here. Right now I'm talking about sales targets, right? So this is one view which you saw. And well, I can change that to YTD to MTD, QTD, and all those stuff. I can go to the previous year or stay in the current month and analyze. So all flexibility is there. So next one is your build, a sales order, booked versus build versus collection. I know YTD figure is this much. PO amount is say 7 lakhs, 7.2 lakh, 72 lakhs, sorry. And build amount is 63% of that. And received amount is 46% of the build amount. Okay. But then you want to know what's happening at each branch, each level. Again, it goes down to see MTD level or YTD level you want to do. So suppose I want to YTD level or QTD level. You should see that. And these figures will change. For QTD, how much PO amount, what's the build amount, how much received, and what's pending to be billed and what's pending to be collected. And you can see branch-wise, manager-wise, under branch manager, ASM-wise, sales manager-wise, category-wise, product category-wise, location-wise, or customer-wise, you can see if you want to see, and month-wise, right, how it's doing, and also efficiency. That means 69% of PO received you have billed, 66% of the PO amount you have billed. Here, 53% of the billed amount you collected. So are you happy with this? It looks like 50% amount the billed amount you collect every month, and 70% of the bill order value you bill. Is it okay with you? It's for your business, it's fine. Otherwise, you need to relook at it. Is anything going wrong? My business should have more collection than 50% of the billed amount. Why is it so low? Then I can always go and see for a particular month or for a particular branch, whoever's less than 50% and all those things. Okay, so this one is, I can put the percentage here as well, right? If I put the percentage, then you can know, because this is suppose very low percentage, looks like BM4, then I can see BM4, branch manager 4, where all is going wrong, which particular products or which particular customer or location and which month. Okay. Oh, so this month was good, but June he didn't collect well, and February he didn't collect well, right? So you can know, pinpoint, find out under that also which sales manager did it or sales executive did it. That also you can find out. All interactive. Then going back to the main CEO dashboard, then you would like to see, let's say the AR aging. Okay. I want to know which customers, which invoices pending for how long. Suppose I go to 30 to 60, I click here, I come here, I want to see more than 90 days. I click on the more 90 days, 2 customers. So one customer 66210 and other one is 8,000 something. Okay, which bills are pending for this customer, the top customers? I say, oh, so many bills are pending. So I know these customers are these bills are pending for more than 90 days, right? And this customer only check 1 or 2 bills, 1 bill. So similarly, going to go to other bucket and do this. And if anything more than 60 days, you can have a mail trigger so that you can also go to the customer or can go to you saying, look, this is pending for more than 60 days. So automatically the mail trigger can be sent also, right? So this is an accounts receivable aging analysis. Similarly, you have inventory aging analysis, knowing right. Different buckets again, over 90 days, over 60 to 90 days. So over 90 days, if I click, so it will show you over 90 days. These are the products which are over 90 days. And what's the value of the product? So here it's only top 10 products not showing. Let me see, 60 to 90 days. Yeah, 60 to 90, these are the products. And Mumbai is so much, Delhi is so much. And this is the product ID. So this product ID is lying in Delhi, New Delhi, right? Product description, whatever the cost in hand. I can also show the inventory carrying cost in this. So how much money you've already incurred in carrying this inventory, that also can be shown here, right? Provided you have the data. So here you can again see which item lying where for how long. And you also added one more module which is not here, is the inventory planning. Depending on the sales, it could show you the planning, how much inventory you need to hold, how much inventory you need to, how much to purchase, right? Let me show you this. This is anyway expense versus budget. So it's not only that you can see it only for this particular month. I can choose a month for which I want to see the expense versus budget, right? Expense versus actual budget. So for this, there's no data. Suppose I want to see for August. Yeah, so expense budget, and see that this is YTD budget. You're comparing a month and month. So basically you are saying that, okay, I can choose to YTD. That means YTD previous year's data is there. Yeah, so that means previous year this was, and this year YTD value versus budget. Till August 2019, this was my budget and this is my expense, where I have gone up or gone down. And suppose I want to do month and month, that means August month budget was this much, my expense value is this much, and where I've gone wrong or where it's, no, it's okay, 0% means I'm online, right? So you can see for any particular month, once you go down below, so you can also see under marketing or under admin, all the categories which you have defined. Here only you have 3 categories, you can have more categories. So you can know where actually you're going wrong, right? And which month you've gone wrong. This is an important thing which is very useful for cash flow. Right. Say, I have this cash flow on the left hand side. If you see the top of this horizontal line, is the bars are the cash inflows. The green bars are the cash inflows. And below this line, the bars below the line are cash outflows. Okay. Orange ones, possibly salary or capital investments and all those stuff. So next 60 days, it shows you the cash inflows and cash outflows. And the area graph, which is the shaded area, is the net cash flow out, cash inflow minus cash outflow, right? The net flow. You can see the net flow was negative, okay, on this date, right? Southern tip, right, on this date. But it is not gone beyond the LOC. LOC is the line of credit or the working capital limit, right? But you want to see, you have a lot of invoices on the right hand side. You suddenly see there's a red invoice here, and this invoice, this particular customer, and he pops up saying this is a disputed invoice. So then you want to show, what if I don't get this invoice, particular invoice, if I don't get it on time, 6/6/21, what's the impact on my cash flow? So I can always click on that invoice and exclude that invoice. That means I'm not able to get that invoice on time. Then suddenly I see the impact on my cash flow on the left hand side, and see that on that particular date, my 24/6, I'm busting my working capital limit. I need some extra money of say 1,73,000, whatever, right? So on all this date as well. But then here you want to say, okay, what if I make this payment, vendor payment, I defer it, right? So I said, okay, I will exclude this to some other date, not pay on that date. What's the impact? So I can see that I'm coming back to my working capital limit. So you can always do what if analysis on your cash flow for the next 60 days. Okay, we can get the accounts receivable, accounts payable from the ERP or tally system, but the other expenses like budget and salary and all those things you need to give us, right? Separate in Excel. Now, sorry. Similarly, you have revenue versus expenses. And here, basically, what you're showing is the revenue versus expenses variance analysis. Again, like you said, that choose a particular month, choose a particular financial year, okay? And then you want to compare YTD to YTD or month to previous month or quarter to quarter. You can add that quarter to quarter. And what happens is you see the variance, okay, what is the current period, YTD? What is the previous period, YTD, in terms of revenue or in a particular expenses, and what the variance. So the trend is going up or going down, whatever it is, right? So this is the revenue and direct expenses. You can also have a chart like that. Anyway, you see a visual chart on a CEO dashboard where you can put the cursor and know month-wise what is the revenue, what are the expenses. You take the cursor, you can see that this is the revenue. And if you put on the line, you know the gross profit is how much, all month-wise. But if you want to drill down and compare the variances, then you come down and then click and check the variances. The trend you have seen on the CEO dash graph, but the variances in a tabular form, you can come and do this in this particular dashboard, right? So this is all about the CEO dashboard briefly, okay? As I said earlier, this is not the fixed format. It's all customizable what you want to see in your dashboard, but we feel that these are the things which you need to have for your 360-degree view of your business, right? And that's the end of live demo. But just to tell you how does it work. So you have ERP data or tally data. So what we tell you that, okay, dump those data, relevant data. Suppose you want, considering that you want all these dashboards, real-time basis. Sorry. Then what you do is, okay, we tell you, okay, this is the data which is required. Take that data out from your tally or ERP and dump it in a high-end desktop at your premises. Give us remote access. We will do all the data management required. Connect that to a cloud BI server, which you already have. And in that, automatically the data will go there and your dashboards will get populated, and you can see this dashboard from your mobile phone or from your desktop, right? And the frequency of updating these dashboards depends on you and depends on how often you take out the data from ERP or your tally system to that particular desktop or a server, small server, right? And your investment is only limited to that desktop where you dump the data. Rest all, BI server, BI cloud, dashboards, BI tool, everything is set up for you. You just pay per use basis on a monthly basis. That's why you don't invest on any capital. and you manage a business, suppose you're somebody doing in Excel and still struggling and all those things, you're not getting real time, not able to see when you're traveling, all these things possible. And you just pay a certain amount per month and you avail of all these things, right? And possibly a small amount lump sum to manage your data initially, depending on how clean or well managed your data is, right? So that's the end of my presentation on this topic. So any questions, I would like to take it right now. I can see there are 14 participants. Good. Any question from participants? If no questions, I would like to ask, how relevant is this to your business? Do you think it's relevant to your business? Any volunteer?
Yeah, Param, are you online? I think Param is out of the network. Pushkarji, can you cover the questions we have received in our WhatsApp group?
Yes, sir. 1 second.
Thank you.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Second. I'm reading out some questions. There are very interesting questions I've received.
Very good.
Give me a minute. See, that's connected.
Param, are you ready? Or Pushkarji, are you ready? Who will ask the question?
Yeah. Just a second. Actually, that's on that the questions were in different phones. Within a second, I'm ready.
I can take Pushkarji, I can take the first question.
Hetal has a question. He's raised his hand. Hetal Trivedi, he's raised his hand. Maybe he has a question.
Paramji is here.
Yeah. Sorry, there was some network issue. So we have some really important and interesting questions for you, sir.
Yes.
And the biggest question is that since we are discussing about SMEs who normally don't have so much of an exposure and experience into data management and business intelligence, so there are some basic questions as to how to begin in this area. So for example, if an SME wants to adopt a business intelligence system or a model, so what kind of data should it collect, and how can it identify what kind of data will be actually useful? Because sometimes you see that there are issues that either they may end up collecting too much of data and the analytics becomes difficult, or they can have too little data and it's not really useful. So how to find that, how to identify the necessary data, and how to find that particular balance between too much and too little data?
Very good question, Param. Okay, let me answer, go back to my slides when I said that first you need to know what's important to your business. For the sake of doing business analytics, don't jump into it, right? I showed you some dashboards. Are you really worried about your inventory, having a grasp on your inventory? Are you really worried about your accounts receivable? Are you really worried about your target versus actual budget, expenses, these, that? So what are the things which is worrying you, think that you're not on the top of it, right? So that's one thing. So then you list down all those things, then you will discuss, okay, these are the things which you need. That means if you're worried about inventory, so what exactly in the inventory you want to know? Is it that inventory status or which item lying where? What are things you want to do? Inventory aging or inventory planning? So once you know your business need, because each business needs differ from business to business, industry to industry. Well, everybody has finance problem, inventory problem, receivable problem, sales problem, all those things. That's why you design these things. But the dashboard will be more effective when you fine tune the requirement to your business. That's when whoever wants to adapt this 360-degree view of a business, first is discussing that what you want. We can suggest something. Could be after understanding your business, the way you run your business, what kind of business, we can say possibly this could be useful. Now, first step is to understand and establish what is useful to you in the sales, in the finance, and these and that, right? All the 4-5 buckets. After having done that, then we come to the data requirement. Oh, to do this, then you need all these data. That's when data gap analysis we do. Oh, you need all this data, but you're not capturing this data. You're capturing only this data. Then you start the journey of capturing those data. Maybe after 6 months, you'll be ready to get what you wanted. Second thing is, you capture the data, but not in the right format. Then we help you. Okay. Or you captured excess data. We tell you, okay, if you've captured the excess data, fine, but we only need this much data, and you dump this data on that basis. We will manage the data, and we will do all this for you dashboards. You don't have to build the skills, struggle, and all those things. Do it for yourself, right? And maintain it for you as well. So what we're trying to do is, first step, engage to understand the business which you are doing. Establish what's important for your business, what you need to see on a 360-degree review dashboard. First, we establish that. After that, we go to the data. What data do you need, whether you have the data or don't have the data? If you have the data, how to reformat and how to fine-tune it or clean it. If you don't have, how to capture in what format you have to capture, right? I hope I have answered the question.
Yes, sir. There is one more question, sir, from the point of view of SMEs again, that the business intelligence solutions have been in the market for almost 2 to 3 years now. I mean, they've been prominent since last 2-3 years. They've definitely existed for a longer time. So what do you think is the factor because of which SMEs are still not switching over to such models, or they are still not, or the adoption process is slow?
Okay, good question again. I'll tell you my experience of working with SME segment, right? Well, my solutions are not only for SME, but this is for SME, but I do projects for companies like Larsen & Toubro, Godrej, IFB washing machine, so where the enterprise solutions are there. But for questions, coming back to your question of SME, SMEs, I find the struggle with the data. They have captured the data, but they have not captured, most of the problem is the data. They have not capturing the data in the right format. As I said, quantity and unit of measure, the dirty data, or they have not captured the detailed level data, product wise sales, this gross invoice, they've captured it. So the capturing of data in not in the format which can be analyzed. That's one part. Sometimes there was, oh, so much data you need for analytics, then we don't have so much of data, because they never thought, they were happy with their MIS reports. One SME said, no, oh, so much data you require, then we don't have all this data, stop it. I said, look, it's a question whether it's important to you or not, whether these insights which you get is important to your business or not. Only then it will start, right? So possibly a lot of SMEs have not yet gone, because the consultants, who are the consultants in this area, or the top 4-5, they're expensive. If you go to them, they'll charge you a bump. That's when I said, okay, engage with us, we'll tell you if it's important to the business or not, right? Then you say, if it is important, I'll tell an example of gems and jewelry. Gems and jewelry trading business, I never looked at that. But I met one owner. He said, I have 100 plus products. I don't know my inventory, which product, how much inventory is there. I don't know which product is selling, which product not selling, except for 4-5 I know. But I have 100 products and I have so many customers. I'm lost. I said, good. Then you are the best, you are in the best situation to do analytics. First, get the data. When we got into him to capture the data, we realized he's not capturing the data in a detailed level. Now he's capturing the data in a detailed level, right? Then the format which you've told. Once next 2 months, you'll have the data ready to analyze all these things: which product selling, what selling, which cut, how much inventory is there, how do I map my sales to the inventory. So the problem lies with data first, not having the right data or capturing the data the wrong way. Okay, so then, and the other problem is not understanding the benefit of this, right? This, oh, business analytics is a fad. No, as I showed you, this presentation is, that's why this session I'm conducting, to connect and see what is important to you. Are these, that's why I asked the question, are these relevant to you or not? If you don't find this relevant to you, then you'll not go for it, right? Only when you find that's relevant, that is going to help me, then only go for it. If you don't have a problem, or you think that there's no problem, okay, then it stops there. So engage and find out. We are there. Talk to us. We are happy to engage free of cost. First initial discussion to tell you whether these things are applicable or not applicable. You can say, "Nay, boss, your business is too small. You can manage it in Excel. You don't need any BI platform. Excel में सब कुछ हो जाएगा. मत करो BI platform में. ठीक है? हो जाता है. Excel also is okay, but then There are inherent problems in Excel also. It can't be automated, can't be on the mobile access and all those things. Data. So, but then it's up to you what level you are in, whether you can manage the business in Excel. I just started with talking to a US company. They were just started, they are importing from China and then selling it in US and manufacturing a little bit. And suddenly he's having problem data captured in Excel, but he's not able to plan his sales with the inventory level and then ordering level, because the dynamic situation of ordering. Some customers are reducing the order forecast, some customers are increasing. He's saying, I'm struggling to do that. I said, this is a simple problem. You capturing the data wrongly. You capture this data like this, and you have automatically planning for you. This order comes, you need to buy this order, place this order on this date to this thing. The shipment will come there. You'll have clear visibility on the dashboard and show you some red area where actually things are not going right. You don't have to struggle. So all this can be automated for you. Planning can be automated, right? If you do manual planning, that can be automated through the dashboards. Anyway, I hope I answered the question to some extent.
Yes, sir, definitely. And one more thing. So we have a question from Mr. Alok also, and there was also another question. So I'll try to club both of them. So basically, you see that a lot of processes in businesses these days, even currently, are manual processes. So as you rightly pointed out in the beginning of your session, that you may have, let's say, the manufacturing person is maintaining his data in some Excel, and the salesperson is maintaining his data in some notebook or in some other manner. There are also some businesses where people like the staff or even the owners themselves are not very technically qualified or not much conversant with such technology. So how exactly can we find that balance in terms of training and in terms of user experience, where we can integrate these manual processes or data collection methods into a business intelligence system? Because you see, even from the CEO's point of view or from someone who's viewing the dashboards, there can be a lot of technical information involved, and there can also and sometimes one question may lead to another. So you want to see different views of a business. So how can we get the maximum inputs and outputs with as less user interface or interaction as possible?
Good question. Whatever you saw these dashboards from your data sources, your data sources tally, whole thing is automated. So there's no manual intervention first, right? Once the data comes to that box of yours in the office, server in the office, from there it's all automated. There's no manual intervention anymore. All gets analyzed, populated on your dashboards. The question you have a question is, how do I get that data? Because right now I'm doing manually something, somebody's writing in Excel, somebody's putting in a manual sheet. First step is digitization. But for digitization, you don't have to invest anything. Just capture the data in Excel. We'll give you the format in which you have to capture the data in Excel instead of paper. And keep those Excels only in that server. We'll automate it, we'll integrate it. But at least capture the data in Excel format, right? Whatever data you have in Tally, that's okay, you dump that. Whatever data you're manually capturing, the sales data or other manufacturing inventory data, capture in Excel in a particular spreadsheet format will give you. And then you store that data, update that on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and store that on that server which I told you, on your physical server. And automatically, whatever you updated in the Excel sheet will be updated on your dashboards at the frequency you've defined. If you're saying daily basis, look at daily basis. That's what we do, cron jobs, write jobs, automating the whole process. Only thing which you have to do is digitize the data or your data in Excel at least. If you have ERP, that's good, but at least in Excel, put it in that. And then from there, it's all automated.
Right, sir. So as a chartered accountant, I must say that because we have referred to Excel a lot, so Excel is probably the lifeblood of our firms and of our working. And as you rightly said, that once the data comes into Excel, it is really very easy to import it into any software. So your suggestion, I think all businesses can at least come to that point. They can come to Excel where they enter their data, and then you can take over the rest. That's a really very good facility and a very good option for business people also.
Absolutely, Param.
Yes, sir. So I think that covers all the questions. If we can wait for one more minute, I guess, if anyone else has any question. I request the participants to post their questions in the chat box. Okay, I think there are no more questions, and I must say, sir, that the entire session, you have wonderfully explained this entire concept of business intelligence and how a digital solution can really help us with seeing our business from the 360-degree point of view. What do you say, Pushkar sir? Pushkar sir, if you're online.
Yes, I'm here. I'm very much here, and it was very interesting because we are getting a lot of queries from especially MSME sector. Our honorable Prime Minister and whole government is emphasizing on the growth of MSME. So many solutions, so many government schemes are coming up, and everyone talks about MSME. From recent in past 2 or 3 months, we have got so many queries from MSMEs, mentors and the receivers, both sides, that they need some solutions. And as they will be driving the future forces of India, so these kind of solutions are definitely helpful. I would this is my personal recommendation. I know because so many seniors are still sitting here. If we can conduct these kind of sessions more with more MSMEs, more upcoming entrepreneurs, that would be a great help, because finance it drives the business. Without that, nothing is there. And MIS data, if you dive as much as you can, I mean the devil lies in the details, and data is details. So this thing, if something can simplify the problem, it's really helpful. Thank you so much, sir. It was wonderful.
Okay. Thank you so much. But I also like to say something the way it is organized. I have been doing this session for different management associates, but I find this session was so professionally organized. And thank you, Param and Pushkar and other panelists who have organized this. I found this is the first time so professionally organized, and so nice to see that. Otherwise, you'll see some people are just joining after 15-20 minutes. You don't know what's happening. Half the things, so in a mess. There's no introduction. There's nothing, but it's really professionally organized. Thank you, Param, and thank you, Pushkar, and all the other organizers. And I enjoyed it. And I would request that you should send my colleague Jyoti, all the members who participated. Maybe we keep sending them some information, additional information, right? Because they're interested in it. All of you, I can keep sending additional information. And something which is specific with somebody, you can all. I'm open to discuss with the plan with them, right? As I told you, free of cost consulting. So we can say, okay, what's your business and what you need to do, or what data you need to do, or how to digitize. We can advise them. Okay. So please send us all the details so that we can stay in touch with all the people who have participated today. Okay, thank you so much.
That's so nice to hear about this, sir, because as I said, so many people would love to hear from you more. And please tighten your seatbelts, because BM is coming up with so many great events, and some of the flagship events in coming next 2 months. And we would be happy to invite you to be a part of that. We'll be in touch.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Best
Thank you, sir. Just adding to that, Mr. Alok is asking regarding the PPT. आलोक जी, आपके लिए पीपीटी नहीं, पूरा का पूरा सेशन हाजिर है. जस्ट यूट्यूब पे जाइए और एक बार सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए, बाकी चिंता हम पर छोड़ दीजिए. सारे के सारे all the FET videos and many videos are available on our YouTube channel. So you will get regular notification regarding Friday evening talk, because as I comment on the initial level only, that 6 o'clock is earlier time 10 years back. Then we are shifted to 6:20, then 6:30. Now I can see, because I'm staying on the heartline of the Vadodara, so people are going back to the home around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So most of the people are joining at 7 o'clock. So you just subscribe our YouTube channel. Entire session is available. And sir, Mr. Sushant Panda, with your permission, we will also wish to share this session to student level, if anybody is asking that, because our patron members are many education institutes like Navrashna University in Baroda, Parul University in Baroda. So will you allow us if they are asking for this, because these are the advanced level technology product, and I understand the professional can only address this kind of subject. Because I can see the moment you are sharing the screen and continuously changing the screen, your experience actually we have enjoyed it. It is not like ratta hua script nahi tha.
No, I've been doing
You
this for
allowed us?
last. I've been doing this for last 10 years, and I do conduct analytics workshop through CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, and also Bombay Chambers of Commerce of Industry. 2 days workshop for the business managers who have at least 5 to 10 years experience in either sales or HR or finance. So I've been
Oh,
doing this. So it's not that uh, uh, it's just a 1 hour, but I talk for 2 hours on this subject, 2 to 3 hours. I mean, 2 days I'm talking about, so 2 days or 3 days, right? So, so
honestly, our experiences last 3 years regarding this kind of subject, these are the just teaser, we can say. Otherwise, full day, 1 day, 2 day program, if you organize, then and only people can came to
absolutely.
know these things. Because there are a lot of this straight away application you have discussed, and straight away the board, the dashboard you have said. But before that, there are a lot of things from Excel to dashboard,
Right.
which people understand. And there is one of the prime question regarding this area. So
No, Mr.
definitely,
Bakshi.
we will let us hope that at BMA we will organize. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But Mr. Bakshi, so that's what our forte is. What happens is, it's not that even the big customers, I tell you, big customers like whether it's IFB washing machine or a Chocolate steamship, so they have the data. What they do, even DHL courier, I had a big top management. They have data, but they don't know how to analyze and get insights. So we consult, okay, you can analyze this way, you can analyze that way, so you can get these insights, right? So that's for the enterprise customers. But for SMEs, the standard analytics is required. But the only thing is the problem is they have not digitized. As I said, simple way to digitize is put in Excel. That's what the easiest method we found out. And from there, it's our duty to automate the whole thing. You don't have to develop skills on that. Then skills, what you require is how to use it, how to use the dashboard. Since what we do is we sign a 3-year contract. Okay, so use it so that whenever you have questions and modifications, all covered in that. So you're not worried about, अरे इसने कर दिया फिर भाग गया, अभी कौन करेगा maintain, right? कौन देखेगा? So all those things are not there. Okay, so we hope, okay, good, nice to hear positive things. Hopefully we'll engage again and do something together. Thank you so
Thank,
much.
thank you.
So can I
Thank
leave
you.
now?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone. Let
Thank
us
you.
see you next week. And before that, just I will announce the 2 mega events continuously are watching about the script, annual management convention in AAYOM competition. We will send you the complete detail regarding the same very soon. Thank you.